What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video where we're going to rank from worst to best of my statues, and today we're doing the Transformer statues. So when I originally got into Transformers, I actually bought the heck was that line called? Honestly, I don't even remember. It's like an Optimus and a Bumblebee, like action figure statue, no base, like 20 inches tall. God, I can't even remember the name of the company, but I bought two. Wasn't hugely impressed, and I saw Prime 1, notably that Optimus, which blew me away in the picture, so I sold those off. Calibre, that's the name of the company, Calibre. I even had an Allspark, which I regret selling from them. But eventually I got into Prime 1. My first Prime 1 was Megatron. And then, of course, Optimus and Grimlock, Bumblebee, Starscream, Optimus Lockdown, and the Shockwave, and I also got those two right there. Plus, I also have all the little busts, which I do like quite a bit. I love displaying the busts and props and stuff in front. I think it really adds to the display. But I'm definitely a huge Transformers fan. I absolutely loved all the movies, with 3 and 4 being my favorite, and that's why I collected specifically 3 and 4. Stuck to those movies. You know, I loved Lockdown as a villain. He was so cool. So we're going to go ahead and count these down from worst to best. So I would say definitely by far the worst one's going to be this Bumblebee. This is actually a wall mountable statue by... God, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the company. It does light up, although mine had issues with light up. Only Bumblebee's eyes will light up. The base doesn't light up. It's a decent looking statue, but I think the paint and the sculpt is a little off. Some parts look too big, and the paint, when you compare to Prime 1, is just not as good. I still do like it, and it gives me an additional Bumblebee who I absolutely love, but I would say that's my worst one. In addition to the, I mean, if we're gonna include the bust, this Optimus Prime bust, this is actually amazing, and I really like it. But we're really just doing full-fledged statues. If we do want to include Squeaks, we'll say he's the worst, though. Definitely Squeaks. That's just a little figure, not really a statue per se, so. But if you want to include Squeaks, we'll say he's the worst, then Bumblebee. But now we get to the Prime 1. Now, I am incredibly impressed with all these statues. I think they're all absolutely amazing. If you saw my video on my favorite lines, you'll notice that this was my favorite line. I am just blown away by the detail, the paint, the presence of these statues. They are so freaking cool from some of my favorite movies. You know, and of course, one of these statues is my all-time favorite statue in my collection. If you watch my channel and follow me on Instagram, you'll know which one I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and get to the least favorite of the Prime 1. I'm going to have to say Starscream, even though, keep in mind, all these are absolutely amazing. But ranking them, I'd say Starscream's my least favorite. This guy I first saw at Universal Studios, California, Transformers 4D ride. Now that is actually my favorite ride of all time. When I first went on that, it blew me away. I rode it like 5 more times. It is so freaking fun. I love how they incorporate so many aspects, you know, with the water, the heat, the sun, the glass, 3D glasses, and the moving car. It's so fun. And it was just, had a story, and I just loved it. And when you exit that ride, they have a shop that usually has some Prime 1 statues. And so I love going into that shop, looking at all the Transformer stuff. And at the time I had Megatron, Optimus, Bumblebee, you know, all these. I didn't have Shockwave. But when I saw Starscream, I was incredibly impressed. And I was like, wow, that is freaking awesome. It's huge. And the detail is amazing. So literally, later that night, I hopped on my phone. Actually, I think it was not even that night. I think it was later while I was at the park. I checked eBay and bought this guy for $1,400. And I, you know, so very, very happy I got him. I also got the battle damaged bust, which is right there. I actually display the battle damage on pretty much all these. I love the battle damage. But he truly is incredible because he has a very unique design. He's not a car transformation, he's actually a jet. And so you can see the jet aspects of him, like the wings back there, even the little cockpit in the front with like this little translucent dome where you can see someone would be sitting. So I just love the design of Starscream. I would say the character is not my favorite, but his design is incredibly cool and definitely an amazing statue. I've been displaying it like this pretty much 100% of the time. The exclusive is where he has a saw blade, but these 6 rockets are way cooler. And then he does have a switch out hand, which I would never display. But I do like doing the battle damaged head. So he is my least favorite among them all, but it's still an amazing statue. Next one, God, this is extremely difficult because these are all so freaking good. I'm gonna have to say Optimus Prime from so Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. Now, don't get me wrong, this is mind-blowingly good statue. I freaking love it. The pose, he only has this one pose, no switch outs, nothing. He cost about $1,600 when I originally bought him. I displayed the unmasked portrait to mask the poster right here, match it. So pretty much exclusively display this because I have the masked version right there of the new head. This does have incredible detail without a doubt. Absolutely amazing, love it. I do think I prefer it over the Ultimate Edition. The pose is just so good on this one. That massive sword into the base, it's the knight. You know, so it just makes sense. If you're gonna get an Optimus from when he becomes like the knight version, this is the one to get without a doubt. And I do love this design of Optimus. I think it's extremely cool. And I'm glad they actually updated it instead of giving them the same look each movie. I like they updated it. Absolutely amazing, 28 inches tall. No, 28? Yeah, 28. Incredible statue though. The only switch out is the head. Next statue would have to be Bumblebee. Now this Bumblebee is a freaking, gosh, such an amazing statue. I love the paint and detail. The size, it's about 25, 26 inches tall to the top of the, I display it with these little like mini rockets. The gun, I do have the exclusive, which is the Allspark. I just display it in the base. I also got this little Camaro car, which I like displaying with him and Optimus with his. But I'm a huge fan of this Bumblebee. I think it's absolutely amazing. The paint job's incredible. The detail from Dark Side of the Moon. I like how all the bases match on all these statues pretty much. Huge fan of Bumblebee. If you know, I previously owned a Camaro because I loved Bumblebee so much. I bought a Camaro, drove it for many years until I recently upgraded to a Tesla. But I love Bumblebee, and this statue is a lifer for me. I have seen the newer one by Prime One. I saw it at Universal Studios Orlando. Also absolutely amazing, but I do think this one is better in terms of paint and detail and a better size, compared to Optimus. The other one was too big that it, just looked out of scale next to Optimus because Bumblebee was noticeably shorter. Next one would have to probably be Lockdown. So he comes with multiple switch outs where he's just doing the standard walk like in that poster. Right now I'm displaying him with the gun. The gun just looks so cool. He's technically still in a walking pose, but he's absolutely amazing. Such a cool villain. Loved the final battle. He does come with the 4 still jaws, and they all look incredible. I even installed a little Lamborghini sticker right there because originally it didn't have that, but that was inaccurate. So I bought a sticker and installed it, and I think it does add to it because that makes it more accurate. But when you have the 4 still jaws, it really adds a lot to the display and just makes it look so epic, so cool. He also comes with a switch out portrait with the visor down, which I also do like. I love his switch outs. I've actually probably been meaning to switch it out to the visor walking just like that poster, but I love this one. It's incredible. Next one's gonna have to be Megatron. Now, he was my first Prime 1 statue. I got him for a whopping $300. Basically, I got the statue free. It covered shipping. It was part of a statue trade per se with another collector. So I gave him some statues and he gave me cash on top of this statue and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it basically cost me $300 for shipping. You know, I believe it was 2 or 3 big boxes. But once I got this, it solidified I needed more of these. This is so epic. So massive base. Some people like to display this without the base, but the base really adds a lot. I would never consider displaying these without the bases. I love the bases. They're very detailed. They add to the presence, you know, making it 32 inches tall. You take away that base, it's like 7 inches shorter. Wouldn't look near as cool. I definitely prefer him with his, let's see, yeah, light up's still working. With his battle damaged head. So much better. I love that look of that battle damage. Super epic. So I've always displayed him with his gun, even though he has an arm that's non-gun. I just changed this out to either the super long or this one. Right now I'm doing that one. But I do like the Transformer 2 version as well, where he is displayed with the long claw. See, that's how he killed Optimus in the second movie. He stabbed a long claw and shot his gun. So cool. But Megatron won Statue of the Year for obvious reasons. It's a absolutely mind-blowingly good statue. Just so freaking epic. Love it to death. So he would be the next one. Now we're down to the final 3. These 3. Now I'm going to have to go with Grimlock as the next one in the countdown from worst to best. Grimlock actually is my most watched YouTube video. I haven't checked it recently, but last time I checked it was over 650,000 views. So that video alone has paid for half this statue. Goodness. You know, this statue cost me like $1,800. Now this one, you know, I got the little Optimus. That little Optimus is incredibly fragile, which is super annoying. I swear, just trying to insert something chips off. They really should have constructed Optimus better. I don't think Optimus is needed per se, but I still like it quite a bit. And I generally like displaying them on him, you know, just like the poster. Optimus has a switch out sword, so you could change how it is. Of course, you know, my little Optimus has damages, you know, just from inserting it. Like those little things right there, both got damaged. The shoulders both got damaged. Both the swords got damaged. But so that sucks. Grimlock is technically flawless, but I have noticed some deterioration. Now I've had this for over 5 years, but right here, check that out. I'm not sure what that is, and it hasn't been growing, but I noticed that about 4 months ago. Hasn't changed. I'm not sure what it is, if it's just resin deteriorating or something. It's not a huge deal. Obviously doesn't take away from the, you know, epicness of this piece. All the light ups still work and everything. But obviously, I mean, it's a robot dinosaur and the best dinosaur, T-Rex. So it's an absolutely amazing statue. It's like 35 inches wide, 24 inches tall. So it is quite big. It definitely takes up a lot of width space, but it's a very, you know, dynamic statue being on one leg. Very, very cool. Absolutely love it. Definitely one I don't think I would ever sell. And then I just used the additional Optimus space for squeaks here, but very, very cool. Next one is my Optimus Prime Dark Side of the Moon. This is that one statue where when you first get into collecting, you're looking at statue pictures on Sideshow's website and you see that one that you're like, oh my gosh. And it just blows you away. But then you look at that price tag, you're like, frick, there's no way I could get that. You know, I saw the price in this, like $2,200 for the exclusive. I was like, oh, no way I could get that. And the exclusive sold out. So what I did is I was able to come into the money, you know, through selling some statues at the time. And I bought the regular version. And then someone sold me the exclusive shotgun. So I do have the exclusive on this guy. You know, and I also got that Optimus little truck, the extra head, battle damage bust. I'm currently displaying them with the battle mask, though, to match that poster. But this Optimus is a grail for me. You know, it's one of those statues that I just couldn't believe how amazing it was when I opened it. This is my favorite look, doing that giant gun with the axe. Unfortunately, my axe is damaged. It fell during my earthquake, which pissed me off. Honestly, this is the one that pissed me off the most, even more than like my Black Widow statue, just because I love this axe. And even gluing it on, it's not 100% straight. And I tried multiple times, but you can tell it's not 100% straight. But if you look at it from this angle, you can't see the fact that the axe is crooked. So I was very sad when that broke. But, you know, obviously I could display a sword if I wanted to, which is the exact same as that poster. But I really do love the axe. You know, when you fought Sentinel Prime, it was such an epic battle. But this Optimus is definitely a grail for me, and, you know, my favorite of all these statues outside, of course, Shockwave. Shockwave is my favorite Transformer statue, and in general, my favorite statue in my entire collection. I still remember going to Tokyo Comic-Con, you know, in Japan, and first I saw Wonder Woman on horse. That was the one I wanted to see the most. And then I went and saw this guy. Granted, I did like Wonder Woman on horse more than him at the time, although I still think this is probably a better statue overall, having seen, you know, more Wonder Woman on horse pictures. But for me, this is my favorite statue for a plethora of reasons. One, such a cool looking design. You know, probably one of the coolest looking Transformers out there. The base is just absolutely massive, like freaking 3 feet wide, deep, tall. This thing is a monster. And the base is super, super cool with those giant, like 6-foot drillers in the back, so detailed. So the base easily destroys all the other bases here. You know, with those drillers, mind-blowingly cool. 3 different light ups, but the eye light up is super bright, much better than the light ups on like Optimus or Bumblebee. Those light ups are tiny little LEDs, where this is a big bright one, you know, just like that poster. So it's definitely a better light up feature. And obviously look at the size of that gun. That's a 2-foot long gun. It's like real life. There's just too much going on here that you can look at this statue for 3 hours and still not go over all the detail that's on this thing. It's absolutely insane. You know, that's why, you know, with the presence, the detail, the base, the concept, everything about it, it just, you know, can't get any better than this for me. You know, and with him, I do display these 2 little props I have here, the Prime 1 Matrix of Leadership and the Allspark. Allspark's just from eBay, and the Prime 1. I think those look really good there next to Shockwave. You know, so he is obviously my favorite statue in my entire collection. You know, and I have a lot of grails, but nothing beats Shockwave. You know, it's like, without a doubt, he's number 1. You know, and so that is my favorite Transformer order of my statues. There's definitely a lot of other Transformers I would love to own if I had the space and unlimited money. Of course, I would buy them. I would get them all. If I was to get any more Transformers, it would definitely be to complete the Autobot line from the first movie. So Ratchet, Ironhide, and Jazz. You know, that's about $4,000 worth right there if you were to purchase those 3. Unfortunately, I just don't got space. The only way I could get those is if I removed MK, but that ain't happening. So I'm going to stick as is, how I have it. Basically, the leaders with their little sidekick, separate little Transformers 4, and then the grill. So very happy with my Transformer collection. So no more for me, unfortunately. If I ever did get one, it'd probably be Sentinel Prime, though, to go where Grimlock is and move Grimlock maybe into the theater room as a standalone piece there. I think that probably could work. We'll see. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with the order I put them in? Or what are some of your favorite Transformer statues that you own that maybe I don't? Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.